As you were talking, and it made me think of two things. It made me think of that kind of famous Harvard study that studied kind of that men's lives over like an extended period of time. It was like a 50-year study, a longitudinal study. It might have even been longer, where they found that they correlated health and wellness and long life to number of friends. That was the biggest correlation to health, particularly for men, was how many friends you have. And if you've got less than 5, you got a problem. And if you got more, then it's good. And so I think there's definitely something there. Also, maybe think of, if you know who Esther Perel is, she's kind of a famous kind of couples therapist. She wrote a book called Mating in Captivity. And kind of one of her arguments is in relationships, in modern relationships, we tend to want to put everything on our spouse. Like our spouse is supposed to be our friend, our intimate partner, our playmate, our everything. And she says that's really not healthy, because that's really not how the world used to work. It used to be that our spouse played one role, and then we had work colleagues played another role, and we had friends that we did activities with, they played another role. But we're tending to put everything now in these romantic relationships as if they're supposed to be the end all be all. And her argument is, how can you have more of a community of people and relationships that can serve different needs and means, which I think is really healthy.
That rings so true to me, Brandon. And I, my own kind of sad story along those lines is to do with my father. Like I mentioned him in the book and in a sidebar that when my mom died about 8 years ago, he lost that everything person, exactly as you're describing, where, he didn't feel like he needed anybody else in the world. And even though he had some really lovely friendships growing up and made some friends along the way, he became very isolated. And to this day, he still is largely lonely, which kind of breaks my heart. But at one point he said to me, I have lost perhaps the art of making new friends. And I was like, oh God. And it is hard to do that, especially for guys. But like you said, it deadens us and it kills us. It both like kills our spirit and then kills our body when we do not have those connections, and not just with the spouse, like you're saying, but with a wider network of friends and colleagues.